Welcome to another episode of my Motor Town playthrough. Today we are going to continue with where we left off last time, seeing if we can help this poor soul bring up apparently, what is this, 45 tons. Jesus Christ, that's not gonna work, I don't think. So 45 tons of planks are likely loaded onto that. I can only see the ones in the back, but there should likely be some in the tractor itself. I don't know where the guy wants to go from here. If it's only up to the parking lot here, then they should be good. But going up to either the mines or Guanglin Town, good luck with that. I don't think I'll be helping out with that all the way. But yeah, we still have our own mission to do. You know what? I'm just gonna quickly check something. Guanglin Coal, yeah, good luck, my dude. And of course, we have another free ride there, so. I'm just going to repair my truck here. We have the thing disconnected. Now we do. So I can now go back to right here. Get my Lemusi and repair the engine damage that we got the last time. Somebody's underground over there. Okay, now we can teleport back. If I can find the area again. So yeah, if I was that dude, what I would be doing, I would be taking the CUDA on its own and then come back for the trailer. And then come back for it. 45 tons isn't gonna work. Also bringing up the Golima, I don't think that's gonna work either. But yeah, that's just me. Also nice seeing that my recording software is frozen again. I hope it's still recording, but yeah, something seems to be off with the stuff. I don't know if that's to do with the game eating resources or anything like that, but yeah, I've seen these kind of issues happen on the side and I don't know what to do about it. Also, I'm back in 4 high and that's not really where I want to be. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see how much I can get the stuff up there, but yeah, I think I would at least need a Brutus to get the Golima up. I might help out with some of it once I'm on the top, but yeah, I think what we're doing right now is really pushing it. But at the very least I don't need to fight with even the winch too much here, because that stuff on the back isn't all that heavy, all things considered. Okay, I think that's about as far as it can get right now, so let's put on the winch cable a bit further, or the winch hook, and let's pull up some more. So yeah, compared to doing the job with 6 planks, we are doing this pretty swiftly, I would say. Okay, I think at this point the tractor is actually pulling up the trailer on its own. Ah, we got somebody else coming down here as well. And since I mentioned I wanted to help out, I might as well grab my Brutus now and try and get them up here. The Brutus has 2 winches, which is really useful, so you can anchor yourself down so you won't ever have to deal with being stuck somewhere. Should also go to the parking lot instead of the delivery point. No, that's the right one. Can I refuel over here? Let's try the trick that I learned. Yep. Also can directly go into 4 low, because that's what I'll be dealing with here. Yeah, we're still trying the rotator. Maybe with the Wack I can bring the rotator up, but on off-roading it's really just a liability. Let's anchor down. And help out in the back a little bit. If we even need to. Yeah, the anchoring was definitely not necessary. I could have just pulled it through engine power. Oh, they are stuck again. Never mind. So let's just pull up some more. I mean, the Golema has the mightiest winches in the land, so it could potentially be very useful, but yeah, it itself is a bit of a tough one to get anywhere in this kind of region. So I'm just gonna bring the truck a bit further up ahead, so I'm out of the way. And then I'll go from there. I don't know if I want to stick with them for the entire journey, but for the time being, I think I'll help out. Was kind of a premise for the episode. So I'm setting myself up to pull directly because I think that's also gonna help. Once again, putting this forwards as much as I can. And there comes the truck. I can't go that far down. So maybe if I go like this, give it some slack. Oh, they got it attached, that's... I'm just gonna go and grab the other one. That should do it. Hopefully. Like, this should be 20 tons pulling on the thing, plus its own engine power. Which is not to be underestimated either. Okay, I think at this point we need to get the Golema further forward. I'm gonna check there is... Yeah, the handbrake was pulled. So that's not gonna help. Engine power wise I can't do much because I'm stranded, so I'm just gonna put it in neutral and just pull with another vehicle that actually has proper ground contact. God, this is all the ingredients to go horribly wrong with server lag and everything. Maybe I actually need to anchor myself and pull that way. Winch controller. And now let's go for a good pull. I mean, we are definitely doing something. I'm not even using a winch anymore, so let's get rid of that. Trying to make some space for the other guy. But yeah, I think it's done. Let's engage the parking brake again. Make sure that thing is fully there. Yeah, it's not gonna roll back down again. So yeah, so much about making a single quick video about doing an easy delivery. To be honest, that is more my style anyways, what they are doing, so yeah. I tend to usually not go quite as silly, but I mean, it can be done. And I mean, content-wise, this is definitely a bit more engaging. So who am I to complain? I'm just gonna try and run by here, get the Golema, the Goatator. What is this? 18 gears on the thing? Oh, we're just gonna go through their full sheer momentum. I'm gonna try that myself as well. Yeah, that's not a problem. I wasn't too sure about that, but the next one is definitely gonna be a bit more demanding. Yeah, okay, he leaves me space, so that's nice. I'm gonna go and try to stay on the right. Okay, that's a bit too far. That's gonna suck. Yeah, I'm gonna go and get my Brutus for that. That's gonna need some help going up there. But yeah, in the end, you can get a bit more out of it by having the Golema, but it's just... It needs its own helper crew in order to help out anybody else here. In fact, I might even go as far as say maybe we can do this with only the Brutus. Maybe 2 Brutuses. Let's try and pull it up here. This one needs to not be in handbrake mode, but it's just gonna roll down again. That's not good either. But yeah, I can't go forward because of the thing there, so... Okay, now it's hanging in the balance, which isn't the worst thing. So let's grab the controller and give it a little tug. This all being on a corner doesn't make it much easier. I could have maybe put the winch cable on straight, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that's actually the move here. Even if I'm pulling myself in the dirt now, this kinda needs to happen this way. So once the Golema is on the little plateau here, then we should be able to pull it on in the right direction for the road, but it needs to get there first. I don't like what's going on with the Golema, but I don't know if it matters too much. We are not moving it anymore. Maybe I make this like an in-between episode. Extended cut or something. Maybe if I reverse for a moment. No, this is all not so much potential, it doesn't really work. Maybe reset the... for Brutus directly. But yeah, this thing being on the side is not really moving anyway, so it doesn't do as much. Oh, that's also a good way to set it back on the wheels. That's clever. That's real clever. Question is, what are we going to do now? Okay, I guess we are putting it back onto the truck, so let's just... Oh no, let's get the front winch. The thing is, I know the Golema stuff, the winches are stronger than what we have on the Brutus. And therefore it makes more sense for me to bring the Brutus up, or bring the Golema up beforehand, and then pull the truck and trailer, because otherwise you are pulling on both the Golema and the truck at the same time. Also, that thing isn't really far up enough for it to be anywhere. Or to go anywhere, the Golema is gonna be in the way. We may also need to cut the rear winch cable here. This is just a mess now. Okay, this is actually pulling. That's amazing. But yeah, I would need to cut the cable, reset my truck to bring it into a better location from here. I need to set this up to go this direction now. Went too long. Yeah, the other dude is doing the same, so we should be good here. Just gonna need a small gun to do this first, and then I can follow. There, it's kinda moving. Not really a lot, but I think we are getting there, especially once we are in line with everything, that should be better. Oh god. I think they need more slack between the stuff. God dang it. Well, the truck is a bit in the way, but at least I secured the trailer so it can't really roll down anymore. You know what, maybe I should do this differently. Let's take this one. Oh god. Yeah, that likely wasn't the smartest move. It would be much easier to do that separately, but yeah. Also, I hope we can try and just get the stuff up from here. If they winch that stuff too close again, it's just not gonna work out. Because it's the same issue as before. Oh, now it's moving. We are kind of pressing it right next to the tree, so that might not be the best thing, but yeah, the entire idea was not the best thing to begin with, so what can we do? You know what, maybe I'll just use the rotator itself for a change. Okay, we are free of the tree now, so that's an advantage. Ah, congratulations. Let's just get the stupid truck up and then go back for the trailer. Does he have a brake on or something? It's locked to party. I swear to God, if he goes back down in order to connect to the trailer again, I'm just gonna do something else then. Yep. Doing the things separately, as I said from the beginning, would have been a much wiser choice, and trying to get the trailer that way is really just asking for trouble. Oh god. I'm gonna try and give him over some, but at this point I might be out of it. I'm just... That was such a bad move that I don't really want to engage with this thing anymore. Yeah, just cut the cable and we should be able to pull it up. I don't think the rotator helped much here, considering we could have just done it like this. Maybe I'll just park it off to the side, because this doesn't really help anymore. I mean, if we can pull it up like this, then I'm happy, but... Yeah, that move... Reconnecting the truck to the trailer instead of just letting us do the trailer alone, that really didn't help it. Sure, the truck has a lot of power, but it also has half the weight of what the trailer has, and we had that up there already, so... Thankfully, cables in this game don't really care about obstacles, otherwise that would have been a really bad idea, going on the other side there. Okay, if we find a rhythm now, then it's alright trying to help him up. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is somewhat working. I should maybe try get more slack on my winch cable, so that we can have two bruters behind one another. But yeah, now there's also the mud to contend with. I might have to pull straight through here, even if I'm not gonna be better off for that, but we need the truck to be in the right position. First and foremost. Yeah, but I still get the idea behind the Golema, I think. I mean, this is definitely working better. Yeah, that was to be expected. Try not have him beach on the rock there. And he immediately rolled almost back on Mobius. Maybe if he goes for another tumble. Okay, reset in time to not be in the way, that's good. I'm not gonna bother disconnecting my cable unless I have to. I got more slack in my line anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, Smogren being much closer to the truck, that could have gotten in the way. Huh. Okay, he's pushing from behind, that's also a good one. But yeah, there's still quite a bit to go, so yeah, this is gonna be a long one. I'm not gonna cut the video because that wouldn't really make much sense. Should have done that quite a bit earlier, but I don't want to just be weird for the other people. So this might just be a longer one. Who cares? And I guess that's also gonna include doing the other stuff. Oh, you know what? Since there's still a lot of things to do and I also need to get back and do the other thing, maybe once we get around this turn, I'll just cut it real quick and then we'll make this a three-parter because I think that's warranted. There's still a few steep sections to do, so I don't think it's gonna be that easy. So with that being said, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Next time we are going to hopefully finish this Odyssey. Gotta go fast. Thanks for watching, I hope you see you next time. Hope you enjoyed, and until then, have a good one, and bye bye.